Thank you for watching FansTang on Tencent.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody in China.
Live from Hollywood， 大家好，我是 Coca， 欢迎来到今天的开门遇见好莱坞。又到了周末了，又到了我们的明星专访时间。今天呢，我们请到演播室当中的嘉宾呢，曾经2次获得过艾美奖，在大家非常喜爱的美剧《迷失》当中啊，扮演大反派岛主 Ben Linus。在新剧《疑犯追踪》当中呢，他又摇身一变成了亿万富翁和电脑天才啊。同样都是天才，《迷失》当中的心狠手辣的岛主和《疑犯追踪》里面忧国忧民的 Finch 大叔，这2个角色对于他来说究竟有什么样不同的意义呢？下面就让我们有请今天的嘉宾 Michael Emerson。
粉丝们好，今天我们请来的嘉宾是你不得不爱的反派，也是曾经获得了2次 Emmy 奖的演员。好，有请 Michael Emerson. Welcome to our show.
A pleasure to be here.
So you probably had no idea what I just said.
I heard my name in there and the names, and I think I heard you say something about an Emmy Award.
I did say something about an Emmy Award, and not just one, but 2.
Thank you.
Yeah, so actually, let's just jump into it. I mean, what was it like winning 2 Emmys?
Well, it's unexpected and a great honor, and I am one of those for whom those kinds of honors strike me speechless. So I was out of body both times, I would say.
And the Emmy goes to Michael Emerson, Lost.
When your name is called, part of you thinks, did I hear that right? Don't stand up unless you're sure. Don't stand up unless you're sure. So I'll look at my wife and she'll say, it's you, Captain. So,
I mean, I've watched several award shows, and sometimes, I mean, the actors seem like they were just taken aback, like they didn't have any idea that they were going to win. But you guys do know ahead of time that you're nominated, right?
yes, yeah, you know you're nominated. And I think a careful actor has some idea of what he might say if he wins. I'm not one of those who subscribes to improvising on the day.
Because you're so humble.
Well, it is a professional award, and I think the event is a professional one because it is also a TV show, and we should do our best to keep the show going.
Right.
And not to have crazy dead air or fainting or stammering or any of that. So even though I'm kind of dizzy in that moment, the actor in me has already something to say, and I know it's important to get through it and to be clear.
For sure. Well, speaking of TV, you're on this hot show called Person of Interest. And how has this show affected your view on technology?
Well, I'm a little more cautious and suspicious now about technology, as we probably all should be, but like most people, I walk around with this device in my pocket all day, every day, that is a microphone and is a camera and is a global tracking device. So it makes you think that you're not as free and independent as you might wish, and that, like any kind of technology, it could be abused under the right or the wrong circumstances. So I do think about it, and I'm conscious now of where are their cameras, you know, and you're not often in a spot where you can't be seen by something.
So your character's name is Harold Finch, and he, for some reason, was born in Iowa, where you're also born in Iowa.
Yeah, and they never asked me about that,
Yeah.
but I thought, well, I guess they're trying to connect the character to me, and Iowa does seem an unlikely place for a computer genius to have grown up, but it might just as well be there as anywhere else.
Right. So it wasn't just a coincidence, anything.
Well, it gives them a nice opportunity when we do flashbacks to Harold Finch's childhood, if that's his name. When we do flashbacks, it seems like a step back in time and really another world from the world that he so much inhabits in the present day of the show.
Right. So on the show, you work with Jim Caviezel, who, you know, I'm not actually that sure if fans in China know, but he played Jesus Christ in a huge film here. And I just wanted to ask you, but what is your dynamic when you're acting alongside of him?
I think because we both have such serious roles and we're such serious actors that I find we end up goofing around a lot making a lot of jokes. You know, Jim does funny voices, and he likes to play kooky songs that he finds on the internet. He plays them on his phone, and you know, he does impressions and things. So he's a lot of fun, and it's a way we take some of the pressure and the tension out of our work. He's a wonderfully professional actor, and a gentle soul, really, very kind, and a humble man.
For sure. You played a really interesting character too. So everyone knows you as the villain that everyone loved on Lost.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where are your glasses?
I now wear glasses that are kind of similar to Harold Finch's glasses. So I thought, well, let me be not so much in character.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's probably the glasses, because when I first saw you without the glasses on, you actually don't really look that much like Ben Linus, actually.
It's funny how big a part of the character they are.
Yeah.
And of course, they were really carefully chosen at the start. We spent a day going around looking at frames. You know, we're at the very beginning. We don't even know that much about the character.
Right.
So whatever we choose, we have to live with it for maybe years and years and years.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch upon that story too. When your character was first introduced, you were only contracted for 3 days, or 3 episodes. But the producers loved you so much.
Yeah, it was supposed to have been a short arc, a few episodes, like I guess a villain that they would tease the audience with for a bit, and then eventually they would kill him. But I think maybe at the back of their minds they thought, but let's try this out. Let's see. I think they felt like they needed to put a face on the mystery or malevolence of the island. And they thought, well, this might be a possibility. Let's try it out. If it doesn't work, we'll go to plan B. But I think it ended up working out all right, and they never let me go home.
Absolutely. No. So how did you prepare for this role then, in that case? Because you pretty much had to create this character as you went along.
When you come in and you're playing a guest spot, which that was going to be, there's not a lot of time or discussion about who your character is or what your character thinks like. The assumption is that if you got the part, you are already very close to being right for the character. In my case, I flew 11 hours to Hawaii and got up early the next morning and went out in the jungle and just started doing my lines. And luckily, mercifully, whatever I was doing seemed right to them, and they kept me around. It was good fortune.
Yeah.
It's good fortune, and also being sort of ready to do the work.
So for Lost, you played this villain, this mastermind manipulator, and in Person of Interest, you kind of played the boss. So which character did you prefer playing?
Well, I think they're both really excellent characters, and I hope I've been able to differentiate between the two of them a fair bit, because that was my worry when Person of Interest came up. Was I thought, well, here's another genius. Here's another man who's good at talking.
Yes.
And who lives in a shadowy world, all of that. So I had to, and yet at the same time, it's me every day for years now. So it can't be too fictionalized. It can't be too distant from who I really am. So you pick a few characteristics and a few ways that you think your character might think, and you hope that will make the distinction for you. It helps too that Harold Finch is a handicapped person, that he has a kind of social and physical formality about him. Yeah. So that helps to distinguish him from other parts I've played. But with Benjamin Linus, it was just rolling with it, script after script, not knowing where it was going, because I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I had been on the show 5 or 6 episodes when it occurred to me one day that they might be leading up to something. And I went to the director and I said, wouldn't it be wild if it turned out I was the leader of the others? And he looked at me for about a 3 count and he said, I can't discuss that with you.
Yeah.
All right, so here I have a photo of your lovely wife,
Yeah.
Mary Preston, and
Back when she was a blonde.
and she played your mom on Lost.
She did.
Is that just mind blowing or what?
It's
Like, your
crazy,
mom
right?
said
That's like a Freudian nightmare. You know, my real life wife gives birth to me on a TV show. How is that even possible? Thank God I didn't have to participate in the scene in any way, you know.
Yes, thank God. Do you have any fun memories from the set?
It was a great adventure, and in many ways, the actor, me, the actor playing Ben Linus, was living a kind of a Ben Linus adventure. I was alone with strangers on an island in the middle of the ocean, and it was so different, so different from my life in New York City, so different from anything I had ever done before. And the physical circumstances of our work, being in the jungles at night or being on beaches at sunrise or all these beautiful places we work, were just breathtaking. And sometimes, I don't know, it helped, it gave sometimes I would feel a kind of funny perspective about our work, like, you know what, we should just set down all this equipment and stand here and look at what's happening in the sky or listen to the surf or whatever. I don't think I'll ever have a job quite like that one.
Gotcha. Michael Emerson, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Congrats on Personal Interest being renewed for a 4th season, and we hope to see more of you.
Thanks so much. Nice talking to you.
Thank you. Nice talking to you too.
好了，看完了今天的专访呢 ，Coca 不仅开始怀念起了这部经典的美剧《迷失》，当然呢，我们也是期待以后能够在更多的影视作品当中看到 Michael Emerson 的身影。最后呢，依然是回答问题送签名的时间了。Coca 这次要问大家的是 ，Michael Emerson 曾经凭借什么角色获得了艾美奖最佳男配角呢？答对的朋友就有机会获得范志书本人亲笔签名照一张，欢迎大家踊跃留言。感谢您收看今天的节目，我是 Coca， 拜拜。